morning, good evening. This is DSP News, the unreliable ones. Ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? Today is June 21st, 2018. And we have two videos here from Mr. Stuffs. We're going to go ahead and do Dspgaming, Anger and Impulse Control, and then we're also going to do Dspgaming, this is how you don't react to drama directed towards Meat Boy. This, ladies and gentlemen, is coming off of the cuffs of the Depression Quest, aka the Depression Saga. This year has been action-packed, to say the least. It's only June, and Phil has screwed up so poorly that whoever, and I say whoever because if I remember correctly, even I, as I'm getting ready to say it, I hope it's not true, but I respect the fact if that is the case, that The Secret Life of DSP has retired from doing a top 10's worst. And if that's the case, we should all respect that. If that is just a rumor, it's probably not going to be a top 10. It'll probably be like a top 20, probably even a top 30. You know what I mean? I remember someone made that joke on Twitter. And it's true. It's very true. It's only June, and literally Secret Life could do a top 20 now, just for what we've seen in June. So just imagine what the rest of the year has left to unveil. It's a scary situation. Anyway, so Depression Quest, i.e. Depression Saga, i.e. I've been suffering from this for a long time, and I never told you guys. Okay, well, I told you guys a couple times. And it's because of this depression and how I've been trying to deal with it and how I try to cope with it. I've never spoken to anybody. I've never seen a therapist or anything like that. I sit on my couch all day, or my love seat, and I lash out at you guys. And I say stupid shit. And it's my depression's fault, guys. My depression made me do it. I had no control. You know what I mean? I have this ailment, and I can't seem to really get over it. But I'm over it now, though. Like, I used to have it when I was younger, and then these people gave me medication for it or something, and it just made it worse. You know what I mean? Actually, matter of fact, I think the pills actually turned it into depression. Who knew? And anyway, I've been coping with it for, for the better part of, I don't know, 15 years or whatever he said it was. And he's been coping with it for a long time. We'll just say that. I'm sure he didn't actually tell you how many years it was. He's been coping with it for as long as he has. And over the years, a lot of the dumb shit that he did is basically the root cause for it. Like, for example, his Watch Mojo situation, which, to be honest, if you're a Phil supporter, you should be proud that for once, probably ever, he made it first place in something. It's hey, a win's a win, at least for some people. And you take what you can get. With that being said, it was the depression's fault. The depression is what caused him to go ahead and go into Flapgate, aka I was scratching my leg, aka I don't know what you guys are talking about, it never happened, aka you guys never saw anything because you just saw all the giant letters from my pre-stream and you just saw this little thing in the corner and there was no sound, aka what's he saying now, Kevin? Oh, now he's saying that it wasn't an accident because he didn't go live and Watch Mojo's full of a bunch of idiots because he wasn't on Twitch when he did that. Yeah, we'll address that at a later time. It's amusing, and it's equally as pathetic as the fact that he's sitting here. He can't even exploit the situation right. God damn it, Phil. You can't even exploit the situation properly. It's obvious that's what you're trying to do. Okay, you should have said, you know what? it happened. I owned up to it. You know what I'm saying? We can go ahead and get a couple chuckles off it. I'll even play it on pre-stream or something just from some laughs, and then you move on, okay? And then go ahead and say that, hey, I'm on top of a Mojo top 10 list. I know they made another Mojo list, and I think Phil's in it. He's not number 1, though. I think he's like in the top 4. He might even be in the top 6. So this isn't the first time he's made it on a Watch Mojo, if I remember correctly. Hey, Kenny, can we try to find that video? All right, we're going to try to find that video. But it's not his first time. That's the point. But he, first time he's made it first. You know what I'm saying? When you go ahead and put DSP or Dspgaming into the search, he doesn't even come up first there. So if Flapgate is what it took for him to get to the top, no pun intended. Hashtag where's cat? Then what are you gonna do? You take your wins when you can get them. Beggars can't be choosers. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News, always late, never breaking. Unreliable coverage that you can't count on. GTG Network and Productions. You guys all know the slogan. It's time to watch me work. Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Black Mage C-Type cheater. And he said, your depression sounds like your detractors. How ironic is that? Seriously, people are so negative and toxic and horribly persistent. All they ever do is ride around on your back trying to put you down. That's depressing in and itself, but also quite inspiring, seeing as you continue to do what you do in spite of struggling with depression and essentially getting a double dose of it from a legion of folks who each are the living personification of depression. Pretty good observation.
That's interesting because I thought we were all brain dead idiots. And I like to think I was more of like the personification of truth. You can throw a little bit of evil in there if you want, but mainly truth. Because the truth hurts. You know what I'm saying? You know, most people would much rather have an ugly lie than, you know what I'm saying, or a beautiful lie over the fact of an ugly or evil truth. I kind of like the fact of just being that I tell him the truth. He may not like it. Well, he certainly doesn't like it, obviously. But it's true. It happened. It does happen. It's going to continue to happen, at least for a little while, until someone better comes along. It is what it is. You know what I mean? You can't deny that. I mean, to be honest with you, if the people who support Phil on a regular basis cared about him as much as they did, they'd tell him the truth too. Because that's the only way you're going to get better. You know what I mean? That's the only way he's going to progress. Instead of them keeping him stagnant. So it makes you wonder, well, we'll talk about that later. We'll talk about that in the next video. Or in the next video we go into, I should say. But it makes you wonder who's really hurting who in this relationship between DSP and his fans. But that's neither here nor there. Ladies and gentlemen, we are here with Mr. Stuff's Dspgaming, Anger and Impulse Control. This was published on June 15th. Here we go.
Boy is in the stream chat whining and complaining, saying that I never talk to anyone unless they tip me or they send me money, which is completely false.
Actually, there's some truth to that. I mean, there's some truth to that. Unless you got a bunch of medals and shit next to you like Swaggins, you know, a bunch of emotes and all that bullshit. You know what I mean? Someone he knows is throwing big money at him, but for the average Joe, go in there and try to ask him a question. Either it'll be ignored, or you're gonna get, or one of the moderators will probably just put you in timeout. So he's not that far off the mark. But you know, that's neither here nor there. Every once in a while, someone slides through.
All he's been doing is sitting there all night complaining that he's depressed, and no one cares. And everyone's basically ignoring him because you're like, dude, we just don't care. You know, you come in, the first thing you say is you're depressed. And what are we supposed to say to that? Now he expects that.
Now, with that being said, this is Phil coming off of his Axe the King, talking about depression and how, you know, you should try to reach out to people and try to get help in this, that, and the third. And then he went on, like, I don't know, like a 15, 20, 25-minute spiel about his depression and his problems, while people just went ahead and threw money at him like he was some overweight stripper. And yet, this one guy sits there and has something to say himself, which would have been a good look for Phil if he would have gone ahead and approached this differently. But, you know, human decency is something in short supply over there. That, well, he ends up screwing it up, as you're going to hear now.
I'm going to derail the whole stream to talk to him live, so let's do it. Super Meat Boy, how you doing? You're really depressed tonight, huh? You're really depressed. Gotta derail my whole stream and be negative in the stream chat because no one's paying you attention. So now I'm paying you attention, all right? So here we go. How you doing? Now you're getting the attention you want, so let's talk. What do you want to talk about? Here we go. Super Meat Boy, here we go. What's up? What's going on? Now he's not talking. Now,
if this is Phil trying to sound intimidating, it's terrible. He's so bad. He's so bad. If this is him trying to sound intimidating at all, there's nothing intimidating about him. I mean, we'd have to ask Cat or Panda for sure. Maybe his breath, but other than that, there's nothing intimidating about that at all. Terrible. Absolutely terrible.
he's silent. I give him his time to shine. Everyone's ignoring him, and he wants attention. I'm giving him the attention he so craves, and now I hear nothing, no response. Where's the response? What do you want to talk about? What's going on? Crickets. Crickets. All right. So there you go. Exactly. See, here's the difference, guys. I can tell the difference between someone who's being legit and someone who's literally just trying to derail the stream. And there you go. Crickets. And now he says, I'm not even listening anymore. All right. Great. Well, now you can be timed out for derailing the entire stream. You complained that you just derailed the whole stream. So now we give you your time to talk, give you your attention you so crave, and then you don't pay attention. Well, now you can...
Well, how do you derail the stream when there was nothing going on anyway? I mean, the stream chat is kind of the main event. Or slowly but surely working his way up the mid-card. It's working his way up the mid-card to main event status, to be honest with you. It is what it is. Like, that's what it's kind of become. Phil uses it himself sometimes as a point of reference, or just as the point of entertainment in general. And if the stream is supposed to be about you, Phil, you know what I'm saying? And it all circles around you. No one came here to hear about anybody else's problems but yours. Then, in truth, you relinquish power to him. No one on that stream has any more power than you do. Well, they don't have nearly as much power as you do, I should say. So the only way that they derailed anything is if you relinquish control to them. That'd be your fault. This isn't hard. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I understand that you, like, as I've said, I've advocated it, that you should learn something new every day. But, like, Phil, you do this every day. You know what I'm saying? Or you do it like 6 days a week or whatever the case may be. Like, you should know better. And for coming from someone who says, oh, I don't watch other streamers, though you know what other streamers do on a regular basis, which is insanely odd in itself, and it's amazing how people keep defending you on that, you should have a better semblance of how this works. Very few people fly off the handle like this, and not to say that he's flying off the handle, it's just typical Phil, but most streamers don't do this unless they're just generally in a bad mood, when they start the stream off pissed off, and that happens more often than you would guess. So, I mean, with your reputation, a little bit of self-awareness doesn't hurt. Let's continue.
Sit outside the stream for 10 minutes. Good Lord. You know, sometimes you gotta realize that streams aren't just about you. That maybe, just maybe, there's a streamer trying to put out content, and there's other people watching, and it's not just about you. I'm just saying. Alright, that was fun, wasn't it? Like I said, I could tell legit. Yeah, you can tell when someone's being, serious and actually wants to talk about something important, and you can tell when someone's just being a jerk trying to get, derail the chat or whatever. So, bye-bye. Alright, so anyway.
You mean like when people are trying to give you, like, real advice about your taxes, and we're linking you to articles and stuff, and giving you options of what you could have done, and you chose not to because you know everything that you need to do, despite the fact that some guy in Connecticut allegedly screwed you over on your taxes for 3 straight years? And I don't know, most people who pay taxes verify their taxes every year or every other year. You know what I mean? I know I do. It doesn't hurt. It only takes like 5 minutes. I mean, right? Oh, but you weren't a business though. Oh, so you would have tried to fight that until someone smacked you down and was like, you are a business. Sorry. This YouTube thing isn't lemonade stand money. It doesn't work like that. You know what I'm saying? The government's going to want their piece. And trust me, they're going to get it. But, Mr. Phil, who's what, 36 now? 36, he thought he was better than the system. He thought he moved from one state to another. So $7,000 or whatever it cost for him to make his move across the country with his underage girlfriend. She wasn't really underage. Well, at least not at that time anyway. That right there warranted and was basically the consensus of that was my tax money right there, because I had to spend it to move from one part of the country to another, because I didn't want to pay state income tax and shovel snow, because it's bad back, obviously.
Guys, again, tonight if you cheer Sober Tip, I will give you a shout out. Alright, Super Meat Boy came back into the chat just to prove that he was a troll all along, and has now been permanently banned.
Oh, I didn't see this. Alright, so, actually I did see this, because I think I had it in another video. Maybe I did. It says right here that, this is Super Meat Boy. If we question if War Dog Leader lost his brother is real or not, how do we know if Phil's depression is real? And then someone under him was like, this is like a competition. And this is when dude ends up... That's when Super Meat Boy
What a dummy! As if I couldn't tell from earlier.
Wow.
Ha-ha! What a dummy. Anyway, let's not harp on the dummy.
Wow.
I take responsibility. It was me that does the fucked up stuff. So I'm the one responsible. But it's fueled by this destructive nature in the back of my head telling me to fuck everything up for myself, you know?
No, I don't know. That's rather pathetic. Alright, guys, we're going to jump into the next video. I'll see you guys in just a second.
Super Meat Boy is in the stream chat, whining and complaining, saying that I never
this soundbite's from June 15th.
talk to anyone.
This video, by the way, is Mr. Stuff's Dspgaming. This is how you don't react to drama. Super Meat Boy, and this video was published on the 17th, but the soundbite you're listening to is from the 15th.
Unless they tip me or they send me money, which is completely false.
Money.
All he's been doing is sitting there all night complaining that he's depressed and no one cares. And everyone's basically ignoring him because he's like, dude, we just don't care. You know, you come in, the first thing you say is you're depressed. And what are we supposed to say to that? Now he expects that I'm going to derail the whole stream to talk to him live. So let's do it. Super Meat Boy, how you doing? You're really depressed tonight, huh? You're really depressed. Gotta...
Okay, let's point some things out in this. I'll try to have this on screen for you, but if not... So, Super Meat Boy starts off with, I got a virus. It's like, can my day get any worse? I'm depressed. Not even Phil could help. Nobody cares. Not even Phil. I'm just a money machine for Phil. Well, he's self-aware. I'm not going to shell out. I'm not going to shell out hundreds like Swaggins. I'm a nobody. Well, that's more self-awareness there. Let's see. He probably says I'm a troll or a detractor. You guys make it sound like being a detractor is a bad thing. It just means you tell the truth. I know that's something that you guys aren't really used to. I want to apologize to Phil and everybody. Okay, so I had to take my medication. Wow, that's depressing. That's really, really depressing. Self-aware, though, but very depressing.
Derail my whole stream and be negative in the stream chat because no one's paying you attention. So now I'm paying you attention, all right? So here we go. How you doing? Now you're getting the attention you want. So let's talk. What do you want to talk about? Here we go. Super Meat Boy. Here we go. What's up? What's going on?
Excuse me.
Now he's not talking. Now he's silent. I give him his time to shine. Everyone's ignoring him, and he wants attention. I'm giving him the attention he so craves, and now I hear no response. Where's the response? What do you want to talk about? What's going on? Crickets. Crickets. All right. So there you go. Exactly. See, here's the difference, guys. I can tell the difference between someone who's being legit.
Okay, so this goes back to what I had said in the first segment. I'm sorry. Let me try to put this together. Who made who? Okay. Did Phil's fans make DSP, or did DSP make his fans? You have this man who's completely has no type of self-awareness, not only of himself but of his surroundings. He's a blatant liar. He lies to himself probably more than he lies to other people, and the more that he has to keep spinning the lie, it's really more him trying to convince himself. Because if he doesn't believe the lie, then how are you going to believe it? He's someone who I think recently said that his dream job was to do what he's doing now, to play games and have fun, but just not have haters. That right there was a moment of vulnerability for Phil. Because how the hell are you going to call yourself the king of hate and say you don't want haters? Oh, what you meant to say is you don't want haters anymore. What you meant to say is that if you could clean yourself up and try to fly straight, you would, but it doesn't matter because people would be able to call you out on it anyway. How is it that someone who's that old, who's been doing this shit for this long, and who says he wants to be real and he wants to be authentic and all this shit like he's Arsenal or something, wants to sit there and be mad that this is how it turned out after all these years? This was what was in the cards for you. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't gonna go nowhere else. It is what it is. This is what was in the cards for you. You have 160, well, no. Well, he has 160. He has 160,000 subscribers, right? Can barely, you know what I'm saying, pull 2,000 or 3,000 per video. He's not even pulling that. And the drama videos pull in all these views, but they're not subscribers. They're detractors, they're trolls, they're haters, and then just people that are morbidly curious. You look at him on stream, yeah, he may get a crazy pop between 500 and 700 viewers, but he doesn't have that many subscribers. He's not getting 20, 30, 40 subscribers every on every stream, unless they're gifted. Phil's community is a reflection of him. So let's jump to his community for a minute. You see, if you ever see his chat, it's Nazi, toxic, racist, sexist chat. That's all it is. It's complete and bullshit. You're going to lose brain cells, you know what I'm saying, just even paying attention to it for any period of time. Sadly, though, it's the only thing that's really entertaining over there. You've got these kids, for the most part, who are going to grow up to be self-absorbed morons. They're going to be the people that are going to get that locker treatment when they get to high school if they're not getting it now. They're the type of people who believe that the world owes them something because they're delicate, special little snowflakes. And everything that should be coming to, they should get everything they want because of who they are, because Darkside Phil says that that's what happens. He's sitting here, he lied to them about taxes. This depression thing is definitely going to work out really, really bad for a couple of them and whatnot. He lies to them about just how the world works. He can't even get how video games work. He can't even tell them how the video game industry works. So you want to go to this man to talk to him about real life shit? Like, do you guys not have parents? Do you guys not have counselors? Somebody? You have to go to Darkside Phil to sit there and get advice? And then he puts almost everything behind a paywall. And you guys are okay with it. As a matter of fact, I saw someone on Twitter, or maybe it was on Facebook. I don't know, I can't remember. Someone actually wrote up this very, very, very interesting paragraph on how all you guys are cucks. That's all you guys are. You guys are just straight up cucks. Because, and this isn't the first time, this person, I guess, went into one of Phil's streams and got bombarded with people. Well, you guys waited, he said you guys waited about 30 minutes or so. You know, you went ahead, he threw out a couple of, comments, nothing serious, nothing for anybody to hate on him with. And then after about a half hour, he said that a couple of you guys were trying to offer him a gifted sub. Some of you guys were running up on him saying, hey, you should just go ahead and donate a couple bits, you know, just as an act of goodwill. Like, you guys were trying to indoctrinate him, essentially. And he'd been there less than an hour. Is this what it's become? You guys aren't a community. You guys are cancer. You know what I'm saying? You guys are cancer. You guys are a parasite. I'm not even gonna call you a scourge. I'm a scourge. At least for Phil anyway, I'm a scourge. But you guys are parasites. And you guys infect anything and everything you guys can get your hands on if you think you can control it. If you think you can overcome it. This is what you guys have become. And then you wonder why people treat you guys like jokes and Phil gets shitted on. He's getting torn down right in front of you guys. If he really does have depression, he's almost at the end of his rope. Which sadly means he may one day be at the end of a rope. And I'm not even trying to be funny when I say that. And that's not just depression, that's just in general. It's called the coward's way out. And not that I'm trying to throw any shots at anybody who commits suicide, but because of the fact that he's a sociopath and whatnot and a pathological liar. At the end of the day, he very well might be setting this depression thing up that if he's ready to clock himself out, then guess who he expects to take the blame for it when he goes. Because, trust me, you guys are probably thinking now, oh, well, GTG, I think you're taking this too far, but you know he's going to blame the detractors. Yeah, he will. But he'll blame his fan base, too. Because you guys weren't supportive enough. You guys didn't do enough to put his name out there. You guys didn't bring enough people into his content. He's slowly but surely setting you guys up for this, and you guys don't see it. And when Darkside Phil is gone, then what are you going to do? You're going to try to acclimate yourselves back into humanity with everybody else? What does that Phil likes to say? Regular humans? But how are you going to do that, though? You guys have been indoctrinated too long. It's different with, like, the earlier generation of detractors. They broke away early. You know what I'm saying? And whatnot. They broke away early. That's why a lot of them are really good at seeing through Phil's bullshit. But what about some? But what about some of you younger guys now, who don't know no better, and have listened to Phil for years? So, who's worse? Is it the community? Is it Phil's community, I should say? Or is it Phil himself? Or is it a combination of the two? And I'm sorry that it got darker towards the end there, but that's what it's starting to come down to. Because I guarantee you, Phil's looking for a way out. He's looking for it. It's not the way things are going now. Without a job and without a very large dose of reality, and him humbling himself, he can't keep limping along like he's doing. It's not going to work. And Phil is starting to realize that. So now, what are you going to do, Phil? Excuse me. What are you going to do? Let's continue.
And someone who's literally just trying to derail the stream. And there you go. Crickets. And now he says, I'm not even listening anymore. All right. Great. Well, now you can be timed out for derailing the entire stream. You complained that you just derailed the whole stream. So now we give you your time to talk, give you your attention you so crave, and then you don't pay attention. Well, now you can sit outside the stream for 10 minutes. Good Lord. You know, sometimes you got to realize that streams aren't just about you. That maybe, just maybe, there's a streamer trying to put out content, and there's other people watching. And it's not just about you. I'm just saying. All right, that was fun, wasn't it? Like I said, I could tell legit. You can tell when someone's being, serious and actually wants to talk about something important. And you can tell when someone's just being a jerk trying to get, derail the chat or whatever. So, bye-bye. All right, so anyway, guys, again, tonight, if you cheer, sub, or tip, I will give you a shout-out. All right, Super Meat Boy came back into the chat just to prove that he was a troll all along, and has now been permanently banned.
So like I said, or like I said in my last video, I'm sorry, he publicly executed this guy. You know what I'm saying? He completely humiliated him, lied and said that this guy was spamming bullshit. What he said, I don't know if I call it spam, because most of the questions most of his responses was obvious that he was responding to somebody outside of Phil. But I wouldn't call it spam, or at least I wouldn't call it spam without a purpose. Phil should know a lot about that. But it's he publicly humiliated this guy, and then he banned him. And this is coming off of this whole situation of depression that he was trying to big up the day before. Only the day before. Do you expect people not to remember? Or do you expect them to have selective memory? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and yet people defend you. And not even just people in your fan base, just regular people who stumble across you defend you. And they don't even know exactly what's going on. Or go back to what you like to say, Phil, it's all in the context. I don't know. That's very interesting, though.
What a dummy! As if I couldn't tell from earlier. Ha ha! What a dummy. Anyway, let's not harp on the dummy. So now, very quick.
All right, so now this part here is June 17th.
Quickly, let me just get the stupid negativity garbage out of the way, because some people are confused about what's going on. This is a very simple one, guys. Here's what happened. On Thursday, I did a special podcast. My podcast returned for the first time in 6 months. And I had a 40-minute segment discussing depression, because I suffer from it. I've had it for most of my life, most of my adult life. Ever since I became a teenager is when it first started afflicting me. And I had a real heartfelt segment about it. Talked about stuff I've never talked about publicly before. And since then, I've gotten a lot of people have come to me and said, thank you very much for sharing.
That part is a lie, though. He has talked about depression before. He's talked about it on Axe the King. And he's done it, and I think he's done it also in a, he's done it on an Axe the King, and he's done it on something else too. He's brought it up. He's brought it up a few times over the years.
It actually was a very...
I mean, if you lie too much, though, you can't keep all of it together. It's bound to fall apart eventually.
Very interesting segment. Some people said they suffer from it themselves and they felt better after hearing the segment. Some people said they don't suffer from it, but it actually helped spread awareness, and they appreciated that as well. All right. So the segment was great, and people in general have enjoyed it. Okay. However, you guys know I have, sadly, a group of people who are toxic individuals who follow me around and try to do everything they possibly can to hurt me and make me look bad. So immediately when I start...
Let's cut it in there for a second, because I've been wanting to address this for a while. Phil, if people really... If one person really wanted to tear you down, they could. They really, really could. Because I had someone slide into my DMs on Twitter, and they had... I wouldn't say they laid out a plan, but they had a set of ideas on basically how to get you. And they weren't asking for my opinion. They weren't doing any of that. They were just like, here, I'm going to drop this off to you. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. And whatnot. This conversation never happened. So it didn't ever happen. So I'm just reminiscing and whatnot. And as I'm going through what was an extremely well-written piece of work, I never realized until that moment on how easy it was to get you. I never realized it. And what I mean by get him, by the way, is not go up to his crib and get him. That's even easier, sadly. That's even easier. Because everybody knows his address. There are pictures of his front door. And if you compile all the vlogs that he's ever done of his house, people have collages of that shit. You don't have to look hard for it if you really want to find it. I don't recommend you do it, but if you really want to see it, you can. It's not hard to find. I never realized how easy it is to tear Phil down. And I don't mean like what I'm doing now. I mean just in general. Like if you really want to screw YouTube up for him, like he's on his last leg where YouTube's ready to kind of get rid of him. There's a theory, maybe even a consensus going around that Curse is just like, he's just not really worth it. Twitch keeps defending him, at least this is the theory, that they're defending Phil because they're trying to defend a lot of these female streamers they have. I'm not going to call them thoughts. PewDiePie already did that. And I won't say that he's not wrong with some of them. And keep in mind, there's a difference between being a female streamer and being a thought. Let's just put that all out there. There are plenty of female streamers out there who are not thoughts. Just the ones that PewDiePie addressed. And there's quite a list. If you guys ever need it, there's quite a list of female streamers out there that it makes you like, well, So, it is what it is. Actually, go to a YouTube channel. I think his name's like L of the Day or something. I'll try to link that in my description. I will try to. But he's gone over a couple of different situations with that. And it kind of backs up my point. But, I mean... Anyway. Phil is used as a shield to guard them, basically. You know what I mean? You can't... Because if you look at how Twitch... If you look at how Twitch has been run, is being run currently, even some of the bigger guys are starting to get boxed out for like no reason, or no good reason, I should say. You know what I mean? It's starting to get kind of ridiculous, and then the chicks who are obviously exploiting their fan bases are kind of getting away clean, or being bumped up further and further and further in the search. And like I said, I'm not telling you guys anything that you guys can't find on YouTube. There's plenty of proof if you go ahead and look around. Phil's just a shield. Phil says that, you know, Twitch loves him and they love his streams. They don't. He's merely a means to an end. In the moment that he's not useful, they'll get rid of him because what does he really do? Yeah, don't get me wrong. He brings his little money in when during these begathons or whatnot. They get their cut, but it's nothing compared to what a lot of these female thought streamers get. He can't compare. Not at all. He just can't. And not at the frequency and consistency that they get it compared to Phil. You know what I mean? Like, Phil is slowly but surely putting himself into a position where he's just a problem. You know what I'm saying? Where, like, it makes you wonder how long will Twitch really deal with him. Excuse me. He's just a shield. He's a means to an end for somebody greater, as he's always been. And sadly, it's how he always will be. Phil will always be at the beck and call of somebody else, even if Phil doesn't know it. And that in itself, in a lot of ways, is kind of sad. It's a sad existence. You know what I'm saying? That people only prop you up because they need you to defend somebody, because they need you so they can use you as cover to defend somebody else. Phil talks about all these things behind the scenes. Phil doesn't know shit about what happens behind the scenes. He only knows what somebody tells him. If you really go and look at what goes on behind the scenes, Phil's too lazy doing the research. The game is a lot more fucked up. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot real. The game is a whole lot deeper than what Phil knows, can comprehend. He doesn't even get it. And how could he?
Started doing this segment, they said he's lying, he's a faker, he's full of shit, he's a bad person, he's trying to get attention, herpaderpader. All right, the usual bullshit. And you know what? Quite frankly, I knew that was going to happen. All right, I knew that people were going to be nasty to me, but I personally said it's okay. I will take the abuse. If that segment helped a single person, then it's worth it for me to take whatever abuse I'm going to get afterward from these scumbags, okay? So that's exactly what happened. For about 24 hours, they just attacked me nonstop, saying that I'm a liar, and I made it up so that I could try to get attention for myself, and yada, yada, whatever, right? Well, Friday night, I was starting up my stream to finish up Unravel 2, and we had a guy who already is an established troll. This guy has been timed out and banned from the chat before. He's asked moderators to get back in, and they let him back in. So basically, this is a guy who is a well-known troll. He's done this before, all right? So Friday night, he's in the stream chat. Now, the stream hasn't even started yet. I'm just starting to talk on stream. And this guy is spamming the stream chat. I'm not saying, oh, once or twice. I'm talking about, like, spamming the fucking stream chat, saying that he is depressed and he needs attention, and everyone's ignoring him. No one in the chat will talk to him. I'm being a bad person because I'm not addressing him and I'm ignoring him. Yada yada yada. So if you were actually
he didn't say all that, by the way, but let Phil spin his lies.
Here on the stream and you saw what was going on, you would blatantly see this guy is a troll. He's a known troll. He's done the stupid stuff before. And by the grace of us being nice to him, we let him back into the stream chat. Here he is again doing it again. He's obviously making fun of me for my depression segment, right, on the show the day before.
So you're going to sit there and victimize yourself. You turned yourself into a victim so you could justify you bullying this guy and then eventually banning him by making yourself the victim. I want you guys to think about this for a minute. We got a grown-ass man here who's getting bullied on the internet, on his stream, and yet that justifies him bullying somebody else. Or bullying the same person, as he feels. Jesus Christ.
And people were all disgusted. Basically, people were ignoring him to the point where, like, I got 2 private messages at the time from people saying, could you do something about this guy?
And Mr. Stuffs actually brings up a good point. Phil has said that he has his PMs turned off. So you can't private message him. So then what is Phil talking about?
He's spamming the chat. He's annoying us. This is stupid. So I'm looking at all this happen. And I stopped the stream. I said...
And actually, you know, if you follow Phil for any amount of time, you know it's true because he's told that to Golden Colts, who's popped up recently. He's told that to Swaggins a bunch of times. You know what I mean? When Brightside Viking used to be up there before he got crucified and thrown under the bus, he used to say the same thing. That's why you had to go through the moderators to get to Phil.
All right, I said, if you really are depressed, he says he's depressed, everyone. Well, let's see what he has to say since he's just screaming for attention in the stream chat. Well, let's see what this guy actually has to say since he's derailing the whole chat. And I waited a good 30 to 45 seconds on pre-stream for this guy to say something. He says nothing. And I said, well, you see, I think that the guy was really just trolling. And then he responds, oh, I'm not even paying attention anymore. So I said, all right, well, since you derailed all of our chat and made us, spam the stream chat and annoyed the hell out of everyone, I'm going to time you out. I didn't ban the guy. I didn't talk shit about the guy. I didn't insult the guy. I just said, all right, we're just going to time you out because you were derailing the chat. All right? And that's all that it was. That was it. Now
here's the thing. You guys heard the previous soundbite. So you guys already know this is bullshit. But, like, how does Phil not know that? Did you not remember what you said? It was only 2 days ago. You can tell us what Cat made a week ago, but you can't remember what Gout propaganda that you had spitted 2 days ago. Jesus Christ.
10 minutes later, the guy comes back in to the stream chat after he, the timeout expired, and he blatantly insults me with an insulting phrase that all of my detractors use. It's obviously the guy is a detractor. He's one of this group. And then he got permanently banned. And so we all just said, wipe our hands of it, right? Wipe our hands of it. It's over. This is so stupid, This is incredibly dumb. The whole situation was a waste of our time, which I knew it was from the get-go because I know this guy as being a troll. I know his name. I know who he is, right? And that was that. Well, ladies and gentlemen, like I said, after that ended, all right, we had a fun stream where I finished Unravel 2, and, no one cared. That was it. Why are we going to waste our time thinking about this situation any further? Was it easy?
Well, actually, he quit it, by the way. To be honest with you. He quit Unravel 2. I mean, you could tell if you were watching, if you were actually watching him play it. And this goes back to something like Metacritic said back in like 2014 or 2015. If the game isn't immediately gratifying, if it isn't super easy, Phil has a problem. And the thing about Unraveled is, like, because of the two characters that you control and some of the different obstacles that you have to go over, you kind of have to think outside the box a little bit. And Phil, you won't see it on YouTube, but if you saw it on stream, was taking small breaks so he could go off and look up how other people were able to get past these situations, past these obstacles and whatnot. And then he would sit there and comment about why they make a game like this. Like gamers are brain dead idiots who don't know how to figure shit out. Which goes back to another video that I don't think I've published yet. I'll have King or Kevin publish it eventually. Where he's like, oh, I'm a gamer, I'm a simple person. What the hell does that mean? If you're a simple person, that's fine. If that's what you're trying to say, Phil, you're saying that you're slow. You're saying that you're not really all there mentally. That's fine. But to then also throw a gamer on top of that means what? Just because you don't want to use the brain that God gave you, that's fine. Or you just never figured it out. Not everybody gets a manual, Phil. Just like games. Not every game comes with a manual. Certainly not anymore. But just because you don't want to do that, you can't classify a whole group of people under it. And you're not a gamer. I don't care what anybody says. You're not a gamer. You're not. You are someone. You are a certified bitcher. Bitcher. Ha! That's actually pretty funny. Anyway, you're a certified complainer. You know what I mean? You're like 20 rungs under Total Biscuit. You know what I'm saying? You're someone who bitches and complains about games. If you beat it, great. If you don't, we all know what you're going to do afterwards. You don't even care about games now. You care about getting paid money to play games. Just so you can bitch about it some more. And make more money off of it. That's what you are. Just accept it. If you did, you wouldn't get so much slack. But the more you choose to fight it, well, that's why you're where you're at now.
Easy cleanup, right? Well, what people have done is taken it upon themselves to take the clip just of me originally addressing this guy on stream, basically saying, so this guy is saying that he's depressed, you're so depressed, and you're derailing our stream chat, let's see what you actually have to say. The guy says nothing, then he says he's not paying attention, and he gets timed out. So all they do, okay, is highlight that one segment. They have no context whatsoever. No context that personally I had done a show about depression the day before, and that this guy was a known troll, that he came in and was making fun of me for the first 10 minutes of the stream, derailing the whole stream chat, people asking me to take care of this guy because he's spamming the stream chat and annoying the hell out of everyone. I publicly gave him a chance, if he really was legit, to say something. He doesn't. He proves that he's a troll. He gets timed out. Instead of banned, I'm nice to him. I time him out instead, right? So then he comes back after 10 minutes, blatantly insults me in front of everyone, and gets permanently banned. Do they show that whole situation? Of course not. They just show the one short clip of me calling the guy out for spamming the stream chat. And if you just hear it out of context, with zero context of anything, yeah, it may make me look like I'm being insensitive. All right? But the bottom line is I didn't insult the guy. I didn't, you know what I mean? Like, there was nothing there. It was just calling the guy out for being a jerk in the stream chat.
You're such a liar.
So, that being said, you know, it happens. It's stupid that people do this. Completely out of context, right? Absolutely completely out of context. And now you've got idiots posting it up over on Reddit in the land of the fucking worthless, completely worthless posters.
You better calm that shit down. Because Reddit has taken down people who were way more significant than you were. You better really calm that shit down, Phil. You better really calm that down. Like, Reddit, 4chan, these are places that you don't want no smoke with, Phil. You really don't. And your fan base can't hold them off. So you need to stop. You really need to stop. I don't know what point you think you're going to make doing this, but it's not going to work out for you. It's really not. So you might want to slow that shit down while you can.
All causing drama over there, which they always do. They always try to cause drama. No matter what happens here on my stream, someone posts shit over there. They try to stir up drama from people who have absolutely no idea what the hell's actually going on. Right? Really stupid. And apparently, I said Reddit, not let it, by the way. But apparently, now, people spamming my social media, because the thing is, I wasn't paying any attention yesterday at all. It was my day off. But these idiots were apparently trolling my social media. And
his day off. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, he works like, I'll be generous when I say this. He works like maybe 8 hours a day. Maybe. And it's all from home. It's all him sitting on his ass and whatnot. And this includes meals and breaks and stuff. It's about 8 hours. Some people want to be generous and give him 9. I'm not. It's 8. He's going to sit there and talk about a day off? Which is really just him putting Kat on her fucking leash and then taking her and then them going out to run errands? Because he doesn't have enough faith that she can do it by herself because she's scared, because he's scared that she's going to get swooped up just like Panda did? Almighty Tevin talked about that on the stream a couple days ago. That girl really is a prisoner. Snooperno was right. She really is a hostage. Oh my god, it's so sad.
As usual, trying to report me to get me banned from Twitch and everything, which isn't going to work because I didn't do anything wrong. In context, the whole situation is completely different than out of context, alright? Now what's hilarious here is that there's actually people who are so stupid, they actually think that context doesn't matter. Someone, no lie, someone actually tweeted me overnight and said, but context doesn't matter. Oh my god, if you actually think that, I pity you. You are going to have a very, very bad life. If you think context does not matter.
Like yours. Let's be honest, Phil. Your life isn't all roses. It really isn't. It's not even, it's bad enough that you're by far one of the worst gamers, and that term is used loosely because you're not a gamer, but you're one of the worst gamers on YouTube. You're also considered one of the worst human beings on YouTube. You're considered one of the laughing stocks of the internet. As long as you're on the internet, there'll never be a somber moment for you. And then off the internet, it's even worse. Well, you make it seem like it is, because that's why you don't want to go anywhere. That's why you don't want to do anything. That's why you just want to be kind of crunched up at home, safe in your little house, behind your little gated community, which isn't that safe, and rule from there. Your life is miserable. You can't go anywhere because you're afraid that you're going to be recognized. You can't do anything because you lie to people and say that you don't have any money or you have all this debt and so on and so forth. Yet, Kat keeps buying shit. You keep buying shit. I don't know why you won't just go ahead and buy that PS4 Pro. I don't understand why you won't do it. You might as well. But you keep holding out the hope that someone will just send it to you. If they would have done it, they'd done it by now. Just like with the with the Nintendo Switch. If someone really wanted to give you a free console, they would have done it by now. But that's neither here nor there. Your life is horrible. And what makes it horrible, amongst many things, is you. It's of your own. It's of your own making. You did it to yourself, and you have to live with it. And that's the part that's hard for you now. That Phil doesn't. That's the worst part of it all. Phil made a mess, and now he actually has to, and he won't clean it up, because then he has to admit that he's wrong, and that completely goes against the narrative. That's when people have to start getting the noose ready. So he won't do that. So he has to sit there and just kind of deal with it. He has to kind of grit his teeth and bear it. Or what is that Vince McMahon says? You in business, you have to eat shit and like it. There you go. So Phil has to do that. And Phil doesn't even want to. He really doesn't want to, but he has to. He has no choice. He boxed himself into the situation. It's actually rather amazing when you break it down.
Okay, whatever you say, context doesn't matter, right? So there you go. But the bottom line is, guys, when you're in context, things always seem to make sense. Do you really think that out of nowhere, with no reason whatsoever, I would all of a sudden call someone out in the stream chat? You know what I mean?
You've done it before.
Do you really think that I want to derail my chat?
You've done it before.
Or derail my stream? Of course not.
You've done it before.
You know, for me, I'm doing pre-stream, I'm talking with people, having fun. Do you think I want to do that? Of course not. I was actually being nice to the guy, rather than just saying, well, fuck you, permanent ban, screw you. I was trying to be nice to the guy to prove that if the guy had legitimate concerns, he would have gotten, you know, attention for it. Obviously, there was none, which I knew from the get-go because the guy was a known troll. But I was trying to be fair, right? And now people are going to twist that to try to get to make me look bad. You know what? If anyone actually thinks...
Because there was no good intentions behind it. There wasn't any. You actually proved that when you said that, you know, I did it just so I could prove, you know what I'm saying? You there was no good intentions behind it. You did it for your own. You did it for your own ego, and it's blowing back up in your face as it's supposed to.
Thinks that watching a clip completely out of context proves anything. I'm sorry, you are ignorant, and that is the bottom line.
And that's another problem that Phil has. Instead of saying what he just said, hey, if you guys saw this one clip and thought that that's what the whole situation is, I don't think that's very fair. Or do a little bit of research. He probably shouldn't say that because he doesn't do research himself. But take everything with a grain of salt. Something like that. Instead of insulting people, which is his first and only line of defense. And then he gets mad when people call him out on that. Or he gets mad when people fling insults back to him. This is the game that you chose to play. Because when everybody plays the game on a much higher level, on a much higher spear, you can't keep up. So if you think about it, the detractors, haters, and trolls have to dumb shit down just so Phil can get it, and then he gets mad because they stay winning. This is your own fault. You're a simple person, Phil. Remember, you're a simple person.
Everything in life has a context. Everything. Okay? So you need to know the context. I mean, that's really stupid. Really stupid. And I'm just very...
You mean like how when you said Justine was over at the EA headquarters getting gangbanged by the execs? What was the context of that? Just out of curiosity. You got a video? Can you send it? Where did that come from? Oh, but you don't want to talk about that. You don't want to talk about that. That was a joke. Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Very happy that yesterday I was on my day off. Because if I had to put up with that shit, it was a normal work day, and all day all I saw was that stuff, it probably would have really, really upset me. But instead, I was able to have a day unplugged from the internet with my girl. I had a lot of fun, and I came back today refreshed, and I'm like, you know what?
He's never unplugged from the internet because he always keeps his eyes on Twitter. So don't let him lie to you about that.
I'll just very briefly address this on the pre-stream, get out of the way so the crap is out of the way, shovel the crap out of the way, right, and move on.
But that's not moving on. Yet again, with your I'll use your analogy. We'll just shovel the crap out of the way. How about you just clean it up? How about you take a few minutes and do a thorough job and clean it up, instead of just trying to gloss over it or trying to hide it?
The bottom line is, the people who were actually on the stream saw the whole context of the situation and had no problem with anything that happened. At all. Everyone was like, okay.
Which goes back to the problem I stated earlier on who's the biggest issue, or who's the real issue between DSP and his fan base. Who made who? You're right. Your fan base sat back like sheep and just let another one of their own get cut down. I guess it's just a matter of waiting who's going to be next.
Good. He dealt with the troll. He didn't insult the troll. He just got rid of him. And now we could have a fun stream. And that's what the whole point was. But these idiots will continue to take stuff out of context to make me look bad. There's nothing we can do about it, you know? It's going to continue to happen over and over. And, you know, it is what it is, guys, you know? It is what it is. And, you know, just deal with it. What can I say? You know, we all have to deal with it. It sucks. The bottom line is us carrying on positively and just having fun on stream is the best way to address it. As more people come in, and we'll probably undoubtedly spam the stream chat and spam my social media with unwarranted hate, because they're basically ignorant people who don't do 2 seconds of research to find.
Because they're ignorant people, and he wonders why the hate just keeps moving on, just keeps rolling over on him. It just keeps rolling over.
Find out a whole situation. This will probably go down as just another one of the things, like Phil scammed his patrons. I actually still get people, you scammed your patrons for Super Mario Sunshine. People are saying that to me, and I'm like,
You had no real intention of playing Mario Sunshine, Phil. We all know it. And that was proven when Phil went on stream and bitched and complained about how much money it took him to get all the necessary supplies to actually play it. He never had any intention of doing it. He actually knew when he put it up there to be voted on that it was going to win. He knew that, but he wanted to play Spiral because he was hoping people would like the Spiral playthrough so much, because it was a game he really wanted to play, that it would overshadow Mario, and it didn't. Well, it didn't for various reasons. You know what I mean? So he likes to look at it now and be like, oh, well, I played the game. You know, I did. And I gave them another game on top of that, so it is what it was, because I couldn't profit off Nintendo games. But you profited from the stream. You couldn't profit from Nintendo on YouTube, but on stream, you still got your money. Not only did you get paid in advance for it, but you still got paid in tips and subs and all that stuff. Same thing with Spyro. He still got paid for it. He got paid for that on YouTube and Twitch, and he still got all his donations and all that nonsense. So he says that he went up and over. He says he went beyond what was required of him. But if you look at how he profited, it was a normal day. It really was. You got paid to play Mario. You played Spiral, and you ended up getting paid for it because that's what was going to happen. And then you theoretically could say that the money that he made from Spiral went to go ahead and get the supplies needed to play Mario Sunshine. You can spin it all you want, Phil, but that's really what happened. You bitched about it on a pre-stream.
Played Super Mario Sunshine. We had a Patrons' Choice event, right? I played 2 games for the event. I first played Spyro, then I played Super Mario Sunshine. So I gave double as much for that Patrons' Choice event as I was obligated to, and they have turned it into I scammed my patrons. I mean,
you've done that before too. You sat there and rage quit games after you got paid your $12.50 for it. Like I said, the shit just rolls over. To be honest, which you got a lot of making up to do, Phil.
This is what the idiotic stuff these people say. It doesn't make any sense. You know what I mean? I was like, huh? But undoubtedly, it'll just become one of those things. You know what I mean? It really will. It'll become one of those stupid things where this is one of the things that we spin to make Phil look bad, despite the fact there's zero factual basis for any of it. So anyway, that being said, that's out of the way, and I'm not going to say anything else about it, you know, and we're just going to move on positively and ignore it. So let all of Reddit explode being idiots, believing something completely out of context, not knowing anything about the situation. Go ahead and waste your time and rage against nothing and fart against the wall for all I care. Doesn't affect me, so go right ahead and waste your time. Okay. Shout out to YOLO Dopper. He cheered and said, Phil, don't worry about addressing negatives. You know the truth within you. That's all that matters. You don't need to worry about...
That's funny, too, because he shitted on YOLO Dopper before, too. Actually, he's done it a couple times.
the out of context stuff. Well, the thing is, sadly, I hate to say it, I do need to worry about it for multiple reasons. Number one, because, as you guys know, Twitch has new, stricter criteria, right? And if someone who, gets a false report, of which many were filed against me.
Well, that doesn't apply to you because you're a partner. He's like a partnered account. So a lot of what he's getting ready to spew to you now doesn't really apply to him. Hence the reason why he's been suspended twice already. One of them was supposed to be indefinite, and he somehow got over and came back. So there you go on that.
I already saw some of them just on Twitter saying that Phil's a bully, and Phil bullied a guy with depression, right? And the truth of the matter couldn't be further from the truth. But when you see that, you basically got to try to cover your own butt, I have to make sure that the full situation is explained out there. Not that some Twitch mod, sees this out of context clip with no context to know what's really going on and thinks that something's happening that's not, and the next thing you know, I get punished on Twitch. Okay, that's number one. Number two, I hate to say it, but, public opinion is a thing, even though I really don't care much about it, and it really doesn't matter because I have so much negative shit against me. 5 straight years of defamatory content and slander on the internet, that really, even if people believed this new negative thing, it wouldn't really negatively affect me at all, right? But just the fact of the matter that, I do need to at least have an explanation out there so that at least people understand what's going on, rather than, oh, well, Phil's been accused of this horrendous thing, and he didn't say a word about it, so therefore, he must have done it. Because it's sad, it really is. But for a lot of people, silence means consent, right? If you don't address something, it means it's true. Because if it wasn't true, you would address it. Which I think is fucking stupid as hell. In reality, if I don't address it, probably means I think it's so stupid, it's a waste of my time, mine and everyone's time, and I should just continue on normally. I had to address the stupid escort situation back in December and January. As stupid as that was, as pointless and completely off base with zero
it was still fun though. I'm not gonna front. And all the time that I've done DSP stuff, which hasn't been that long, actually, like 9 months or some shit like that. That was fun. That was certainly a very it was a very, very interesting time, to be honest with you, to watch DSP content or even make it. It was a fun time.
Of any reality or fact. I had to address it because so many idiots were gullible in believing it. So there you go, guys. All right, shout out to Timbo Slice, who cheered. He says, your trolls these days are just dumb and don't show both sides of anything. Some idiot linked me to a video about Friday. All it shows is you talking to the guy. Nowhere does it show what he actually said at all in chat. Trolls try to start drama by showing one side of the story. Get ready for Half-Life 2. Yeah, there you go, Tim.
So all that dude did was regurgitate the same shit Phil said. Is that the extent? Is that all you could really bring to the conversation?
Most like that's all.
And you guys wonder why you stay losing. Jesus Christ.
Like done. That's all they can do, because if they actually showed what was going on in the chat, it would prove my whole, context, explanation.
Yeah. You're the one with the chat logs. Put it out there. You're the one with the chat logs. You said it before. Why don't you put them out there to defend yourself? Oh, you can't do that because the chat logs actually prove what Meat Boy was saying. Oh, okay. I got you.
So they can't do that. This guy's been, number one, this guy's been banned before. He's a guy who already was known for trolling, banned before. By the kindness of the mods, let him back in.
Kindness of the mods.
Then he's basically making fun of me for doing a depression segment on my podcast the day before. I call him out for it, saying, I don't think you're serious. Let's see what you have to say. He has nothing to say. He gets timed out again. Then he comes back, and of course they don't show the insult that he says to me publicly when he comes back from his timeout. So, it's like every aspect of the situation in context shows that this guy is a jerk troll who's just there to annoy everyone. Not just me, he was annoying everybody. And people personally asked me to deal with him, which I did, appropriately. Didn't insult the guy, didn't go out of my way to deride him, just said, all right, if you're serious, go right ahead, and let's hear what you have to say. And of course he wasn't serious. And then he got Das Boot, which is what should happen. So, don't listen to the nonsense, especially when it doesn't seem to make sense. Gee, Phil's responding to something, but we can't see what he's responding to. But let's just believe it's something negative and bad rather than actually get a actual explanation of the situation. Sounds like something an immature person would do.
Then why don't you put the chat logs out then? You have access to them. What else is in there that you don't want people to see? I'm just saying. Phil says that the chat logs prove everything. That's the Rosetta Stone, but he won't ever put them out there. So either A, he's lying about how he can get access to them, which trust me, he should be able to. It's his. He should be able to get to it no problem. Or B, there's stuff that's said in there that he doesn't want out.
And sadly, there's
Or C, he's just lazy.
a lot of those on the internet, people. So what can I say? Okay. Shout out to YOLO Dopper. He says, I can't believe there are people out there that believe stuff even if it's taken out of context. What a crazy world we live in. Ignorance is bliss. I mean, I don't even think ignorance is bliss. I think it's more that ignorance is drama. When you are immature and all you want to do is believe in the worst in other people, you will believe anything. You know, people will believe completely fabricated stuff.
He completely missed the point of that. That's a shame. That's a shame. You completely missed what YOLO Dopper's point was, but alright.
They'll believe out of context stuff. They'll believe the dumbest shit ever just to laugh hysterically and say, you're so weird, your life is so weird compared to mine. And it's really stupid. I've never been like that. I've never been one of these drama hounds or people who like, if there's someone who I don't like, I need to constantly be hearing about negative things happening to them or around them.
Wait a second, haven't you done that to PewDiePie, to Buscus? Didn't you do that? You did that to iJustine. Didn't you do that to, who else did you do that to? Didn't you do that to like a game writer once who disagreed with something you said and you were hounding him for a while? I mean, you were taking shots at a bunch of people, Phil, and you followed up on those shots later on too. So, yet again, if you don't know all the lore, then, you know, some of this doesn't mean anything to you.
So I can feel good. Like, there's people out there I don't like. I don't care about them. I ignore them and I focus on my own positive stuff. So that way I don't have, you know, drama constantly surrounding shit. And, you know, I have positivity in my own life based off of things that I do. Constructive, productive things. That's the way to go about life. Not to focus on negative crap. At least in my philosophy of life. So,
my philosophy.
It is what it is, you know. I don't think ignorance is bliss at all. I don't think they're living in bliss. I think they're just living in stupidity, quite frankly. Oh yeah, Honest Troll, I did not see your gold cheer. I apologize if you tell me what you said. I should bring this up, guys. For some reason.
Okay, so Honest Troll said, what was the insult that Meat Boy said for proof to prevent any further confusion of the cause? And what did you think about the email? Well, to be honest with you, Honest Troll, he probably never got the email because he never really checks that DSP email on Hotmail. And if he does, he's looking for particular stuff. Most of that stuff is probably thrown in the spam or he deletes it immediately. He catches one or two lines of it and then he just tosses it. So I doubt he even got that. And then the insult from Meat Boy, well, let's hear what he has to say about that.
Right now, Twitch is doing a special trying to kind of cheer.
The thing that actually got him banned, though, was the fact that War Dog Leader was brought up and on how Phil said that we don't know if your brother died or not. And Phil got raked across the fence over that shit. And he still can't live that down. He's just lucky that people don't bring it up. Except for me. Except for me. But he's mad that he's still very pissed off about that because that was a huge misstep on his part. A huge misstep. So
that says goal, use the goal command, you do a cheer, and it's nice because you guys get like a special emote or something, but for some reason those cheers do not get caught in Muxy. So if I don't see it live in the stream chat, I can't see your cheers, which sucks because obviously I want to give you guys all a shout out. So Honest Troll said he did a goal style cheer. I never saw it. So I apologize, and I hope that if you did say something interesting, you say it again, and I'll address it in stream chat. My bad, I couldn't see it.
And there you go. So we heard initially the insult, and then we heard how he tried to follow that up. Which, to be honest, they were They were both poorly executed, but that's what you get from Phil. So, yeah, there's really nothing else to pretty much say about that. He can't do right. He can't. Here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, let's close this up. He can't even do right by himself. You know what I'm saying? Like, he can't even further his own cause in general. So how's he going to help anybody else out? You know what I'm saying? Why do you think we don't see Kat as often as most people would think you would? You know what I'm saying? If she doesn't see the writing on the walls, I don't know what is. I know for I can't say I know for sure, but if I had to guess, if I had to blatantly guess, she has at least witnessed some of Phil's bullshit. And she's looked at this and she's like, I can't go back on stream, or I can't go on camera with him. Like that picture that came out a couple weeks ago, or last month, or whenever it was. That must have been an older picture, like from when she was like first there, or when she was visiting, or whatever the case may be. It wasn't anything recent. He's a menace to himself, and everything he touches turns to shit. It's in his nature. It's what he does. So how do you expect him to pass anything on worthwhile to anybody else? Food for thought. Ladies and gentlemen, this is DSP News. Always late, never breaking, unreliable coverage that you can't count on. A GTG Network and Productions. I am your host / anchor GTG, and I am signing off. End the broadcast.